Hello.
Yeah, Ellie.
I don't know. Maybe I have to uninstall that app and reinstall it. None of your links work on Meetup.
That's what I've heard. I've heard people, yeah, can't get the link from Meetup.
Okay, okay. So I'm not the only one.
No, yeah, it's been a situation with people. Sure. There we go. You.
Hello, Steve. How late is in Australia for you?
One.
It's getting towards midday.
Midday. Oh, okay.
Files are in the chat.
Yeah, I only made it halfway through this one. Had a power outage yesterday. I might have
Ah,
finished it.
how about that?
Well, oddly enough, a friend was saying that he'd installed something which gives him power for 15 minutes after a power outage. So I suppose at least he can close down his work properly. But anyway, I think I've
Well,
got up to about a bit over 100 pages.
Like 150, right? 150 something. Oh, David, what did you share just now?
That's the this week's issue.
oh, the in the chat, the files for next week. Habibi is a 600 page monster, 660, I think.
I finished it in one day
Oh, really? Okay.
after work, just while I was waiting for my dinner to cook. I couldn't put it down. It
It
was
does
good.
move along quickly. Yeah, I'm on page
Yeah.
100 right now. So maybe, Stephen, it'd be all right. You know, you've got 10 days this time to read all of it. And it does move quickly. I agree.
So what's the top file?
Hellblazer. We'll do Hellblazer in May. May. In May. First week of May. We'll do it.
Okay. And the second one down below?
That's Habibi.
Okay, okay. I think I might have both. Let me check if I have the Hellblazer. I
You got the
think I have
physical
the Hellblazer.
copy. Well, that's great. That's great.
Hellblazer 36 from 1990. Is that the one?
It was meant to be Hellblazer 44.
Okay, it's a new one. Okay. Yeah, yeah, I don't have this one. All right, let me add it.
Yeah, May. We'll do a Hellblazer meeting in May. First week of May.
This is smart. Let's get rid of the next time planning right away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very smart. So you don't have to shave off the 5 minutes before we end the call.
Well, I'll see how I go with the larger download. It looks a bit slow at the moment. I might have to jump over to my other to the laptop to download it. It
Really?
doesn't work out.
Hmm. Google Google Drive files are usually pretty reliable.
Yeah, like the Hellblazer downloaded within like 2 seconds on the phone.
Okay, so the first one is one of Donald and Scrooge's big adventures, but it doesn't have quite I don't know, the sharp edge at his earlier adventures. His earlier adventures were just more powerful. You get that feeling, you know, when you look at this one, David, that there's something you said that there's a little bit of a decline.
A little bit. Right. We're past the peak. Still very good though. Still really good comics, cartooning.
Surprisingly, I enjoyed this one. The ones in between were really nice, like the one where he tries to get more coffee for 10 cents.
The one pagers, yeah, one page.
Yeah. The coffee ones were my favorites. Like, do you remember like in the old shows, they used to do that like comedic skits, like in music shows. They would do like a little comedic skit like in between the songs. And that coffee thing seemed like that like little relief, comic relief in between the big ones.
Yeah, bumpers. Yeah, actually, that's a good analogy. Actually, I hadn't thought about that, but yeah.
Not that the other ones were not funny, but I don't know. I found the coffee ones refreshing. Like every time he came up with a new way to get more coffee for less money.
Yeah, this isn't one of the big famous adventures, no, but it's still
Well,
excellent cartooning.
have a look at the galleon. This,
Oh, right here.
yeah, there's a sort of comic book galleon he tends to have, which uh, doesn't quite live up to the most realistic of projections. It's a pseudo galleon, and since I love ships, and he seems to indicate a love of ships in a lot of his illustrations. That I was quite enchanted by these sort of ship images.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about it before that Barks certainly was someone who did a lot of research.
Okay, so they find fresh water inside a wreck that's lost in the desert. What are the chances of find drinkable water after about 400 years?
Yeah, yeah,
Condensation gets dark, like really cold in the desert at night.
that's true.
Well, there was water
Maybe.
barrels in the galleon. I don't know when they invented the barrel actually, because a barrel is a relatively modern invention. I mean by that it would have appeared no earlier than the late Middle Ages. There's the whole trick of heating up the hoop of iron to go around the timbers and squeeze them all into place was a sort of a later invention. Anyway, I won't be talking too much. I'll have to preserve my voice for the talk at the existentialists this afternoon.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah, it's not that great high adventure that Barks is famous for, but still, Barks is one of the best who's ever done it. Here we have the
Oh, and for the barrel, like it
yeah,
was rented around 800, 900 BC.
Looks like the imagery used in the movie The National Treasure. You saw that one, which looked totally ridiculous.
hmm.
hidden city of gold under Washington, was it?
Yeah.
But one theme that keeps repeating is that he never finds anything. It's really the nephews, the three kids that find stuff, and he steals it away from them.
Well, the adults are ruled by their preconceptions more often than the juniors.
What do you mean? Like if somebody give, like, let's say a parent and a child, somebody gives a child $100, the parent knows, say, let me hold on to those $100 for you, and then they never really give it back to the kid. Is that the preconception you're talking about?
No, it's just their fixed ideas, their outlooks. The Beagle boys are the same. They're very much conditioned by their fixed outlook on the world. Scrooge, in looking for an explanation of things, sort of turns to his fixed outlook, his foreknowledge. The nephews are more likely, they might have fixed ideas now and again, that they're more likely to take a more original appreciation of their environment.
Like Scrooge is always looking to go after the riches, right? Like, so he's digging in literatures in like family history, everything that gives him value in saving or gives him like additional business. That's what he concentrates and follows. The kids, you're right, like they do explore, and they even bring that like little booklet, like almost like a Boy Scout booklet, right? To learn about um, nature and exploring, and they find out interesting little pieces in that from that booklet that help Scrooge go further in his like explorations.
Well, Scrooge is the wealthy magnate. He's a person connected with power. He's more up in the world, which is making things happen. Donald lives in the poorer world. He's subject to what sort of world Scrooge and his similars are creating. And so,
like with Scrooge, he's not putting any money out. Like all he wants is just accumulate wealth, but not really do anything with it.
No, that's not the case. It refers again and again to all these companies that Scrooge owns. Every time he goes up to his own hot dog stand and stuff like that, his own taxi company.
He owns it all, right? Like there's not one thing that he doesn't have his little hands and fingers.
Yeah, well, he's got competitors, but he's pretty big, yeah. In this case, he's trying to hide his combination to the safe. With the warning.
No, this one was when he sends the deposit to the bank with a pigeon instead of courier to save money. Yeah. And it just kind of tells you, like, gives you the idea, like, how certain people with wealth, how they like save their wealth. They don't really think of ways to enjoy the wealth or spend money. They're penny pinchers, right?
Right.
But then again, like it is like one of the biggest lessons, like save while you have money. You can save money if you don't have the money, right? So he's kind of following that ideology.
Well, if you have your money in the bank, it's out on loan to other people.
Yeah, but not with him. He has it in a vault. He swims in it.
Yeah, well, he has the money being full of precious metal. Originally, the government money was the coinage, the gold and silver coinage, which is almost meaningless today because the government money, the money the government creates, the coinage, is almost worthless. And it's the notes that were originally produced by the Federal Reserve which have most of the value. And the notes originally represented deposits of gold and silver. Well, gold by the end of it all. And so it was the notes that were in circulation as money backed by the gold that was theoretically in deposits. I paid 10 cents for a 3-minute call, was it? So he's going to chat with the guy. He's going to be social.
I really thought I liked this
Really?
one.
That's nice. Do you have children? Is that so? How are the little Smiths? Swell.
Like he's
I
getting his
paid 10
money's worth,
cents for
right?
a
It's a good
3-minute
message.
call. I believe in getting my money's worth.
Like I don't know if you ever read the Rich Dad Poor Dad. Like Scrooge and his ideology reminds me of that book,
Yeah, a little bit.
right? Like
Yeah,
getting
right.
your money's worth, even like if you're just gonna like talk to a total stranger. I thought that it's gonna come out like that he's gonna make some type of a deal, like right? He calls a person by mistake and he's gonna end up with a good deal, knowing him. But no, the message was like get your money's worth. I like it.
Oh, okay. Stooge represents the capitalistic mercantile class. Do you agree?
Mm, can you elaborate a little bit more on that statement?
Scrooge is a representative of the capitalist mercantile class. Do you agree?
Mercantile. Can you define mercantile? I'm not familiar with the word.
Mercantile is the merchants, which was the basis of the capitalists.
Yeah, but he's not flaunting it. Like I think it goes even a little bit deeper. He's like super old money. Like he lives up to his name, Scrooge. You know, like the Christmas Carol type of a
Okay,
Scrooge.
now the original capitalists weren't so much into flaunting their money. This is more a modern thing. And there's a reason why.
Oh, they did build huge mansions. Like how far in the history do we want to go?
Okay. Well, back in the early days, people were taught by the church to be more humble and not be too extravagant. But okay, we're talking about value systems here. You have the value system of the hero who became the royalty. The royalty was supported by a warrior class, a samurai, who had a variation of that value system. So you go back to the royalty and the warrior class of the Middle Ages. They had values like heroism and loyalty, all the upper values. But at the end of the Middle Ages, the mercantile class, the basis of the later capitalists, appeared as a power in society. And they had one value which stands out, and you've been talking about it all along. Prudence was the original value of the mercantile class. To spend your money wisely, to put it towards worthwhile projects, to look for a good return, to retain your value. And of course, we now live in a world of people who are not prudential, who are just borrowing money, who scatter prudence to the four winds, which is why our glorious leader, Emperor Trump, is in trouble. His little subjects, the Americans, just want handouts all the time. They've developed this bad habit. And he would rather.
You lived in Australia, Stephen. You do live in Australia, right?
Yeah, but Donald Trump is the emperor of the Western world.
So you consider him your leader?
Of course, he's the leader of the Anglo-Saxons. If I had a shield amongst my fellow Anglo-Saxons, we'd raise him on the shield and bear him along as our great glorious chief and leader.
Interesting. Did not expect that from you. But then again, a lot of videos that you shared hinted at your stance. Okay. But I think like back in the day, they were prudent because they didn't have many options. Think about it. Like they didn't have, like they could invest in stuff that was locally available to them. But now we have the world at our fingertips. I can invest in a project in Australia if I wanted, and I'm sitting here in upstate New York. Like we have much further reach and more options what we can do with our money nowadays.
Yeah, well, people don't worry as much about retaining their wealth because they believe they've got a welfare safety net at the end of the day.
No, especially for the United States, there's no safety net.
Well, you
If you're sick for 1 week and you don't go to work, guess what? It's gonna disrupt your living flow unless you have some savings. Like you don't get paid. There's no safety net for us here. So that's the reason, like in the United States, like especially we are so stressed out with work. Even if you're sick, you go to work. You constantly think about like finishing your work.
Oh, here's your
But
opportunity.
you and I can talk until
Albina,
the crows come home. Let's go back to the comic.
Return to Yugoslavia and experience a more worthy life. Actually, there was a video about a woman who returned to Yugoslavia. She'd left Yugoslavia when she was a kid.
Got into a time traveling machine and she went back to Yugoslavia. Yeah, tell me more about it, Stephen.
Traveled back as an adult.
There's no Yugoslavia, Stephen. Nobody could go back to Yugoslavia anymore.
Yes, you can, because it's still a regional concept.
No, it's not. They hate each other. There's no unity anymore.
Yeah, I know that. Well, she went.
Yeah, you can break up a family, break up a house, and still say, I'm going home. There's no home. It's been divided amongst the uncles.
Anyway,
sorry,
she went
David.
back to that region.
You put Stephen and me in one chat, and this is what you got.
I'm okay if you are. No problem.
No,
But that's your choice, Albina. You can return to the place where you came from and experience the
trauma of war as a child. Sure, Stephen. Why not?
There's no war there at the moment.
Do you understand trauma? Even if there's no war, if you're hurt in a place, if you lived through a trauma, like something so traumatic that no matter, even though like there's no war, no guns, no threat to life currently, every time you do go, it repeats in your mind. Your body, your animalistic reaction just kicks in, and you need to flee. So you rather go and live it through that trauma over and over again? For what? I don't understand what you're hinting at. Are you saying get the hell out of United States and go back where you were born?
I'm just wondering what your preferred choice is. I'm not saying you have to leave.
My preferred choice is to stay where I am, and I'm grown up, and I choose every day. Like if I get up, I get up. If I don't, I'll stay asleep in the same bed. If I want to go somewhere, I go somewhere. If I don't want to read Donald Duck, but then David persuades me, and I did read it, and it was good. It was okay.
I was buying some Japanese binoculars, which were slightly expensive ones. And I was shocked to discover that it's a reverse of years ago now, that Years ago, it was cheaper to get these binoculars in the United States. But today, in real terms, I'm paying about 2/3 the price of somebody in the United States. So I paid 1,000 Australian dollars for a pair of binoculars, which in America will cost you 1,000 to 1,200 American dollars, which is way more than the Australian dollar, because the Australian dollar's about 1,000 Australian dollars is worth about 700 American dollars. Okay, they found the lost map. This is a scenario in a few cases, not knowing that it's from one of the Beagle brothers.
Yeah, this one is a little closer to the big, strong adventures.
Some days it just doesn't pay to get out of bed.
I was surprised that he was willing to cook.
Well, no, because Scrooge rose to his position from poverty. And there was a phase when he had to do any job he could get. So this is an element of Carl Barks' alter ego, like Donald's, who is now doing any job he can get.
But how many jobs did you see him do besides office job, like in all the comics? That's what I'm hinting at.
You mean
This is the
Scrooge?
first time. Yeah.
Oh, he relates to his past, when he was a prospector in the West during the gold rush, and he seems to have had numerous jobs on his way to wealth in his
He
early
talks
days.
about it, but it was never illustrated.
Well, they do have some flashbacks now and again. So Scrooge is actually quite knowledgeable because he's done quite a lot of things. Well, this is an interesting one. They've got the beam that turns animals into stone. It's funny looking at these comics, when I was looking at them, say, when I was about 9 or 10, the imagery creates a sort of rush because somehow the ideas represented in it are new to you. Okay, the duck, Donald, and the two nephews are turned to stone. They find out they can solve the problem by pulling them out of the path of the beam.
I really thought that when it was raining and it was petrifying the rain, that he would figure out that it looks like pearls and he will try to make money off of that.
Well, that's the classic way of keeping a chicken in some places, putting them in the basket. What do you think of the middle-aged goose? Is a goose rather interesting figure?
Yeah, I don't think we ever saw him before or since this story. Scientist character, yeah.
Shirtless, but
Yeah.
with office shoes, right? And shorts running around.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a goose or something. Mhm.
But they had to give him ears so his glasses could stand.
Uh,
Like, right? Geese don't have ears. This is weird.
yeah, right.
Well, he's played with the concept, hasn't he?
Yeah, Scrooge's glasses don't have stems. They're just like, what are they? Pince-nez?
Yeah. Yeah. And he probably inherited them from like great great grandfather. He probably didn't even buy them.
Hmm. All right.
Okay, a fungus enzyme running for government. So rather cynical attitudes towards democracy. You don't really see, there's a lot of other, creative artists who will, be very much bound up with the idea of democracy and liberalism being progressive. But do we find that in Bach? Is there anywhere he approves of democracy? It's as though he thinks it's all a huge con.
Where did you see democracy on here? I didn't see that.
Oh, this is what it's about. This is about candidates running for office.
Hmm.
He's trying to run for treasurer here, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of these stories really are just a build-up to one
Here
particular
we
guy.
are. This is how democracy works. Throw the money around and get voted in. This is Plato and Aristotle's criticism of democracy and why it's destined to eventually fail. According to Aristotle, democracy can be very successful if the populace listens to a wise leader, like Pericles or something like that.
Oh, David, if you go back up to that like little parade picture, and you see like right there where you see the money blowing out, and you look at that kid in the lower right hand corner, I think he got the donation bin from Mickey Mouse. Look at the pants.
Yeah, right.
Aren't
Yeah.
those Mickey Mouse pants? Mickey Mouse grew out of them.
Yeah.
Well, they're buttons for holding suspenders, are they?
I think so. Yeah.
Ah, I didn't know that.
Karl
All right.
Barks did do one Mickey Mouse story we read about a year ago.
Well, the suspenders used to be very common on
Mhm.
pants in the old days.
Yeah, you're right. They had those. You needed a button on the pants in order to hook them in, right? Like now in the modern times, they have those little clips where you clip them to the edge of the pants. But back in the day, it was a button, and you would just loop them in.
Yeah, really just 4 pages to build up to this one particular gag, which, yeah. All right.
And here's my favorite.
This one.
Yeah, where he lowers it down to 5 cents, and then he says like, "Oh, it cost me 2 cents to wash, and he's like, I'll bring my own washing liquid in my own cup.
Right.
Then he brings this huge cup that's like 4 times the size of the original, and then gets it for like 3 cents. I love his math. I give me any math, and coffee had math. Now I realize that's the reason I like it.
Mm.
And this guy can spot him. He's like, oh, here he comes again.
Right, right.
But I thought that like most of these diners, they knew that they were operating at a loss when it came to coffee, right? Because people would just come in, like, and coffee was always the cheapest at a diner.
Well, it depends if you're in a diner with refills, I suppose.
No, here in the United States, refills are free. Coffee refills are free.
That's what I mean. You get refills for free.
Right.
But who drinks so much coffee?
Addicts. Well, that's what they do in McDonald's, don't they? In Australia, they're doing the refills for free at McDonald's.
There's something of the flavor of the old classic adventures, epic adventures here in this one, the lemming with the locket.
Mm. Like initially, he's like, "Oh, the rat," right? Like, and I was like, "Wait a second, that doesn't look like a rat." And then later on, they define it like, "No, it's a total different animal." But who knew, right? It's a classic Disney. Out of so many lemmings, like they
Now
have the one
check
that
that
loves
out.
cheese, right?
Check the warship in the back.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that, but yeah.
That design's a pre-World War II designs as well. So it's a design from the 20s or the 30s. Other than that, I couldn't be able to make out what it is, but the two towers are very typical of the earlier battleships. It's got a hurricane bow, which was a sort of innovation of the 1920s. It also looks a bit like the cruisers they built. There was a cruiser which delivered the atom bomb to the island where the plane took off from, and that was an earlier design of cruiser. Yeah, helicopters were a fairly new thing after the war. The principle or the design had appeared in World War II, but not really as a feature, and it became rather dominant after the war.
Yeah.
It's so funny, like the mountains. Like if you go back up,
This is
that's the one thing that always kind
Norway.
of nagged at me right there, or the one below. Like the mountains in the background, they look more cartoonish, but then they would put these mountains up front that have that kind of like almost like comic realism
Right.
shading, right? And he does this in a lot of his little windows, little tiles.
Yeah, that's an old technique of drawing very realistic backgrounds with cartooning characters. As
You
the
got
figures.
the buildings
Like
wrong though. The
the mountains
buildings,
themselves, they were just regular green mountains, right? But the yellow ones, they seemed a little bit more details, and like they have more details on them and realistic.
Yeah, a little bit.
well, it's sort of in the way the fjords in Norway. There's often most of it's very mountainous. But the towns will be on these little sort of relatively flat islands.
What are you expecting?
Sorry, guys. It's getting late here for me.
Oh, what time is it?
9:26.
Okay, so we're trying to deal with a pesky lemming. Now, this is, I think this sort of sums up the state of the world at the moment.
Hmm.
It sort of looks like Trump in the Gulf,
Hmm.
trying to deal with the pesky Iranians who don't seem to know their place in the cosmos.
Get some of Barks's traditional slapstick
Mm.
here. And antic comedy.
The color of the splash it almost looked like grass to me. Like
Yeah.
right there, right? It's like I get like the turquoise water, right? Reflection of the light and surrounding. But then when he splashes in, I'm like, how dirty is that water around that island?
Well, the problem with this isn't probably quite, I don't know, this wouldn't be quite the coloration of the original comics, would it? These are the the new issues.
Really? Like they changed the color codes
Oh, well, these
for
are
releases?
reprints in volumes. You know, you can walk into a comic book store and they'll probably have a shelf of these Donald Duck and Scrooge adventures. I think about $50 each in Australia. So look at this.
Depiction of the animals, right?
Look at
What
this
island?
town here. Look at the town. These
Blue
buildings are
Ridge.
more Central European. They're more German than
Hmm.
they are what you'd see in Norway. I mean, some of those buildings are
Like
nothing.
villages. This is more of a village than the bigger towns that we typically see
Yeah, I
depicted.
mean, the buildings are sort of Central European. They're not continental European. They're not Norwegian buildings,
Hmm.
which is interesting because Barks, had plenty of photographic material he could have used.
I'm very sure he must have had a subscription to National Geographic.
Yeah.
Okay, Donald gets bitten by the lemming. I think I've seen references that if you corner a lemming, they can become quite vicious. In this case, the lemmings like the Norwegian cheese.
Yeah, there's kind of an epic scope to this story.
Yeah, it was Walt Disney which projected the legend of lemmings jumping into the sea.
Yeah, yeah, I'd heard that. Hmm.
Is there any truth to it?
Apparently not.
Yeah, my understanding is, yeah, that was just made up.
Okay.
No, they don't do that.
That would be sad. I'll volunteer to go build fence.
Well, there could be cases where there'd be too many lemmings on a cliffside and some would fall off the cliff into the water. That's about it. They didn't swim to another country. They're claiming the lemmings were swimming to some mysterious lost land. Okay, in this case, the lemmings are stripping everything of edible material.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mhm. Yeah, all's well that ends well. The one
Okay, one
big-
of his shorts. Scrooge under an electric blanket. And he's hatching chicks.
It's almost like the Sunday comic strips. They're just one
Yeah.
gag.
Not so fun fact is that death of elderly because of the electric blanket was super high in the world wherever they sold them because they would start fires. Elderly would go to bed, turn them on, and not like you're not supposed to go to sleep with them turned on.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. If you win, the loser will give his weights in variables. So I did get up to this one.
I really thought that they're gonna do a gag with a pig and the tiger, where the pig is gonna like be faster in front of the tiger to run away, to not be eaten. And I was disappointed that it was just a lame horse and a
Yeah.
sick tiger. I don't know. I thought that he could have come up with a better story than both of them going into the steam boxes, like Schwitz boxes, to lose weight, and
Yeah.
then him blowing himself up with helium.
Yeah.
That one's been done before, I think, in another story, an earlier story, some of this stuff.
I think you're right. Yeah. There was something about that in an earlier one. Yeah.
There was one where he went to some place near India or something like that, and
That's right.
there was some sort of thing where he was sort of like the Mother Raja, but for some reason they're going to kill him. And there was something about, his weight. So he's reversed it so that because he's minus weight, the other
Yeah.
guy has to pay him money.
Yeah. Long way to go for one gag. But yeah.
Okay, we've got a power mower there, but it's got the old sort of rotary thing rather than the blades, which that came out in the 50s actually. So there was a push mower which had those sort of rotary blades. And they've got a power motor version of it.
Hmm. Yeah. Not sure.
But in the off season, wouldn't the lamb cost him more to feed?
In the off season.
Right. Yeah, when there's no green grass.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, if you run out of feed, yeah.
This one was a little bit odd. It's typically like it takes you up the mountain and then you come down the same side of the mountain. This one was indicating that it was like the other way around, and I was like, couldn't they just turn around and come back the other way? Because it cannot be steep both ways, right?
Yeah, well,
Well, in the child's mind, this is snakes and ladders. There's going up and sliding down.
hmm. Did you get to this Philosopher's Stone?
No, I didn't,
No, you
make
didn't.
it to
Okay,
this one.
stop there. All right, well,
I read through all of it.
I keep on going.
okay. Actually, I kind of like this one too.
Yeah, This one had kind of like strategic way to break down your search and do research, kind of like to go the
Yeah.
next step further, where they wanted to see like, okay, the scholar, where did he go next? What
Yeah.
happened to him, right? Where, like, what port, what town did he check in?
Right. Yeah,
Like,
actually, I'm sorry you didn't get to this one, Stephen. You would have liked this one. Covers a lot of ground.
yeah. The old guy with a beard, he confused me a lot. I was like, okay, what? I was like, he's definitely not following them, but like he is
He's
getting to
got,
the same clues.
he's an expert, he's a technocrat. You'll notice Spark doesn't like technocrats, experts, the people in public service. He condemns them as being wafflers, useless, and schemers.
But he was absolutely right not to give Scrooge that stone.
Yeah. I mean, it's just kind of a whirlwind tour here. They start by going to Germany, and from there, they go to Rome. They're to Sicily. And from there to Damascus and Baghdad. Yeah, they cover a lot of ground here. And then Crete. And the Legend of the Minotaur.
This made me think maybe that's the reason you made us read that story before about
Uh,
Minotaur.
yeah, the trouble with
I
Knossos.
thought you were layering it.
There have
Did I
been weird
think too much into
coincidences over the years.
it?
There have been weird
Can't,
coincidences over the years.
can't recall if I saw this one when I was a kid. Something
Yeah.
does sound a little bit familiar about it.
Go back and read it and talk about it next week when we meet again. Because yeah, I kind of thought you'd like this one. And eventually they do find the Philosopher's Stone. And yeah, it does what
The
it's
kid finds it, not him. Look again. Look.
it does what it's alleged to do. And some more shenanigans with the diner owner.
This was my favorite.
This one.
A collapsible cup. If you ever been camping or hiking,
Yeah.
you know you had one of those cups.
Yeah, right.
But his goes to the next level when he picks it up.
Hmm. The heirloom watch. Yeah. This one I kind of liked too. It's filled with all of Barks's visual gags.
It's funny how his vision or his opinion of the watch changes as soon as
Right.
it breaks, and it's gonna cost him to fix it. He's
Right.
like, it's like 200 years. He's like, what poor craftsmanship, right?
Right.
Gyro's gear loose has shown up.
As soon as he realizes he could actually gain something from
Right.
having the watch. Yeah.
He's like, I put everything together except this little eye is missing, right? I thought like the ending was so good
Right.
that
It
it was actually the eye that got
it
given to
works.
him back.
Yeah, it works.
Here's the League of Experts again.
After all that trouble, yeah.
Yeah.
What he ends
The
up getting is
lawyers.
just that tiny little thing. Yeah, it's McEagle, McEagle, McHawk, McCrow, and McChicken. And they're all drawn the same. They all look the same. Supposedly, this is Scotland, right? So they must all be talking in Scottish accents.
There's a nice little image of the solar eclipse.
Yeah, hope you go back and finish this up, Stephen. But yeah, we're definitely past the
This one was hilarious. Come on. This that
Yeah.
I thought it was I was like, what a clever way to position your business, right? Like, how many people cannot take the curve and like look at his pottery? It's like right next to the road.
right. Which they have to pay for then.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's an old style truck. It's of a T model Ford or something like that. I got grandma.
Imagine getting a whole lobster plate for $4.75.
Yeah,
Gee.
right.
You don't get appetizer for one for that money anymore.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, a whole lobster plate. I love seeing these prices.
Right, yeah.
The Great Steamboat Race.
Great steamer. Yeah, this is another good
do
one.
remember one about a steamboat race.
I think this is probably it then. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Like I thought this one actually was kind of educational. Like really to look at the core of the problem. The core of the problem was just to cross the finish line, not to
Yeah.
make the boat fast or restore it, right?
Right.
One boat had a stern wheel and the other boat had side wheels.
Oh, did you see the depth of his money pile? He was
about
like at
100 feet.
90 feet.
Uh,
Go back, yeah.
That always changed, yeah. Where's it here? Here we go.
Keep going down. Right there,
yeah.
right there. He's barely at 99 feet of height of depth.
Okay, all the gold in the world in one cube. I wonder how large it is now.
There's a YouTube video that shows that actually. How much gold there is by country. You can search it on YouTube, you'll find it.
Okay, so right, about 75 feet per side. So all the gold in the world wouldn't equal the pile of silver he has in his money bin. And I think there's about 10 times as much silver as gold in the world. So Scrooge's money bin probably has 1/10 of the world's silver in it.
Yeah.
And right
Today.
now, gold at 1 ounce goes like over 5,300, right?
Today, that is actually back in this time, it would have been something like a third or a half of the world's silver was in Scrooge's money bin. Yeah, so I remember, yeah, I was sort of digging the steamers out of the water.
And the method they use is actually a common method to raise something that has sunk, right? To the inflatables. You would just bring the inflatables and then blow them up and then slowly raise whatever has sunken down up. Crane method is not really being used because it actually can make the item fall apart. Because of the water pressure as you're pulling it up. So the floating method actually is the right method. So even though he wanted to be cheap, he actually ended up doing the right thing.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. His little rafter stuck on the funnel up the top.
Hmm.
Catfish, right?
Yeah.
The little whiskers.
Yeah. I've heard you're not supposed to eat catfish.
Oh, really?
Well, they're
Why?
bottom feeders.
Oh, bottom feeders? No, like I think like you could like do like not too many, but like you limit yourself like one per month.
Yeah.
And depending on where you fish to, right? Because you have different contaminants in different regions.
Yeah.
Here in New York, we have a limit. Like from Hudson, you can only do one fish a month. They don't recommend to eat more than
Wow.
one a month. Yeah.
Wow.
Hence why I knew about the catfish.
Wow. Yeah, and the ships are destroyed, but Scrooge wins in the end.
But wouldn't that have like told him like nobody lived in the house for how many years? It was waiting for the race to be finished.
Right.
That like I had a hunch that from beginning like that this house is about to fall apart.
You rattleheads and your romantic ideas about the old surf. Wait till I capture you.
Yeah, right. Yep. Duck on duck violence.
This one was funny.
Yeah, right.
Like people in pajamas and golfing, and he comes in a bathtub full of money. This was next level of being thrifty or being cheap. Like where he wants the pleasure of feeding a squirrel, but he doesn't want to give too much money. So he's stealing the squirrel's nuts.
Yeah, here's where he's talking about being a prospector.
Mm.
But yeah, we don't get to see it, but we do in other stories. Actually, I was interested to know what you were going to say about this one.
Oh, the one they're going to Australia
Yeah,
again.
they
They
go to
have done
Australia.
some other trips to Australia, haven't they?
Too bad you didn't get to it. But, you know,
Australia has a lot of mines, like right there's a lot of natural resources in Australia. Rio Tinto is all over Australia
Which,
mining.
if America ever disappears, is why the Chinese would make a beeline to Australia. Which is why we need Emperor Trump looking after our interests.
there was that one we were going to read, but we never did. With they built the wall around the U.S. Nobody could get in or out. We didn't get around to reading that one.
Okay, that's not a Donald Duck comic, is it? That's something else.
No, I don't think we missed very much.
Okay, I sort of think I remember the two trees walking along. There was the other one where they were chasing that particular smart sort of leader of the pack kangaroo in an earlier one.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
Yes, well, yeah, China pays a lot for Australia's mineral wealth, and it's made life easy here for a lot of people. But no matter how much money you
Isn't
have,
the biggest company in the world that actually mines called Rio Tinto, and their biggest offices are actually their headquarters in Australia.
oh,
Have nothing to do with China.
well, Rio Tinto started off in Spain. It was an English company. They were using steam pumps to pump water out of the old Roman silver workings. And they were able to go down further levels and extract a lot of silver.
I love this idea, the light bulb. It's 75 cents, or no, it's like 75 watts, right?
75 watts. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Which is cheaper than a
75 candles.
75 candles. Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
it's like he's doing the math and he's like, yeah, logically, economically, this is equivalent, right?
Yeah. And another gag with the diner owner.
And now he's like in his face. He's like, all right, let me see how you're going to bamboozle me now.
Right.
And he gets a double cup of coffee because of the sponge donut.
Yeah, it's a sponge. Yeah. Reminds
But
me of
he
that
has
Stephen
to,
Wright joke. Yeah, go ahead.
no, like he has to be sitting at home and thinking like, all right, I want a cup of coffee. How am I going to screw him over today? Right. So he puts a lot of thought into these. You're spending a lot of time at a computer, David. Your eyes are starting to bother you. I saw you squinting, worse than me.
No, I'm all right.
Golden fleecing. There was
Which
one
one
where
is?
he went looking for the golden fleece and he ran into the harpies. I'm not sure if there was an earlier.
Yeah, it's the harpies one. Like the
Yeah, the
harpies,
harpies.
like it's such a weird thing. Like, why would they put like this? This was oriented towards kids back in the day. Why would they give kids nightmares with this script?
Yeah, well, you don't understand there. This is a different world. You know, it's like the Grimm's fairy tales. You know, they had tales of cannibalism. That was, you know, standard stuff for kids back then.
I don't like the harpies. Visually, they're not pleasing.
Oh, there's the Argo. Yes, I remember that.
Right. This is a reasonably famous one. Famous story.
He wanted a coat made out of golden fleece. That was it, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a striking image of the harpies flying away with the ship.
Yeah, the one there. Yeah, that one.
Hmm. Like, who came up with the ponytail? It's almost like very manly haircut, But then there's this weird ponytail on top of the head. Like big noses too.
Yeah,
Like almost like beaks, right?
Yeah, very striking design on the
Striking.
character.
That's a good choice of words.
Mhm.
Parsnip pudding. I'll be the loneliest queen that ever lived.
Hmm. Yeah, a lot of action.
Oh yeah, I sort of like that bit with the fireworks, and I think I actually tried to do that when I was a kid. Put the the pinwheel on the end of the skyrocket.
Hmm. Yeah, good comedy action here. You get the
Oh,
dragon.
the golden fleece, and he dumps it in the the rubbish bin at the end of it all when he finds his suit is uncomfortable.
Gold. Metal, right?
Yeah.
Which kind of is weird because gold has really high conductivity. So I would think like it would easily warm up to the body.
No, it takes away the heat from the body. You got it the wrong way around. That's what kills you. That if you're just in still air, air's not such a great conductor of heat.
No, but it will reach equilibrium at some point.
Yeah, but
So
you're
I
the
don't see
source
it
of
being
the
that
heat.
cold.
You're the source of the heat. It's actually funneling all the heat out of you.
Hmm.
That's why people freeze in water so quickly. Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, I remember the bit at the end. I'm just taking out the trash can. This doggone glittering golden Macintosh is the coldest contraction I've had on my back. Now he's got that right. It would feel very cold.
Yeah. If it's just the color, you could get a different color coat just made out of actual wool. You just wanted the color. Mm.
Mike's Cafe sodas 5 cents 1 mile.
Yeah, so we'll go to the cheaper one. Yeah, that's just the gag here. And that's it. That's it for volume. What's this?
But I
The
love the
old
image, the wishing well, where
Yeah,
he retrieves the coin back.
Yeah.
well, it's a value of prudence, being careful with your money.
Get the commentary. Hope you finish it sometime, Stephen.
The rest of the gang gave up. There were
Always-
like 3 people that I saw joined, and then
Oh,
didn't.
okay. That's just what people are like.
Yeah, I always wonder what was it they were expecting. The
It's like,
comics group.
yeah.
We're here to
Well,
talk.
we live in a world where people are expecting to be content to be delivered to them without any effort on their own part. This is a downfall.
Well, David does help me out a lot with the content, so I am a little bit spoiled. So I finished
right.
the one that you gave me yesterday, David.
Oh,
and I finished the Habibi. So now I did pick up the hidden life of trees.
Hidden Life of Trees. Yeah.
This thing is massive.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
look. It's quite large. I was surprised. It's a hardcover and it's quite large.
Huh.
But I was surprised. It's like where Habibi, right? It's like just regular.
Yeah.
It is a
That's
bit
big.
fat,
Yeah.
but this one is quite large. It's full pager, like 11 by 8.5 by 11, full printing page, kind of. So that's the one I'm probably gonna finish tomorrow.
All right. Well, yeah, we have our meeting for Beneath the Trees tomorrow. Which
That
is
one
at
is done.
6.
Yeah, I finished that one already.
Okay. Okay. And then Wednesday, Hidden Life of Trees.
Yeah.
All right. And then we'll, I'm sure you'll be done by then.
Oh, well, I've
Oh
got
yeah,
my
this
talking
is
about
gonna
an
be
hour,
breakfast read.
so I think I'll be off.
All right.
Okay,
So we're
I'd
not
like
meeting next
to-
week, except for Rick's group, but we will meet. Yeah, I have explained that.
Yeah,
On the North America 6th, but for you it'll be the 7th. To talk about
yeah, after the Kenneth Smith.
Habibi. It'll be
I
2
noticed you
hours
put a few
after.
things in your on your Facebook, which I haven't caught up with. A few quotes of Kenneth Smith.
I try to post one every Friday. Yeah, I try.
Okay. Okay. See
right.
you later, Albina, and see you later, David.
Okay, sure.
See you later soon. I'm going to bed. Good night.
Right. Okay.